Alrighty, good evening, everybody, and welcome to a very special episode of Game Sense. Not sure if you guys have heard or not, but today and tonight we're here to premiere the 2016 FRC season trailer. Who's excited? You guys excited?
I'm excited.
Awesome, that's great. All right, before we get everything going, I just want to quickly thank our Game Sense sponsor, Symbotic. They've been great to us for the last 2 years, and we're happy that they're sponsoring us again. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce the rest of the folks here with me tonight. First up, we got Ty Tremblay from Team 319.
Hey, everybody.
We have Naveed Shaffa and Evan Morrison. They're from Team 5803, a brand new rookie team. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Very cool. And joining us tonight as well is our esteemed guest for right now. It's FRC Director Frank Merrick. Frank, how are you doing this evening?
Hello, I'm fantastic. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. We're really excited to be here, and we're happy to be part of this great celebration with the rest of the FIRST community. So,
right.
Frank, do you want to say a few words before we get this show on the road?
Yeah, I do. First, I want to thank you guys at GameSense. You've been great partners with us in FRC over the last few years or so. You do absolutely terrific work, and I love you guys because you get FRC, and you're really the best of FRC. I just got to say, I can't say love you enough. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Frank.
We would love you too, Frank.
Yeah.
So, Frank, can you tell us about this little Disney-sized bomb that you dropped on us earlier today?
Yeah. So, Walt Disney Imagineering. We've actually had someone on the GDC, Greg Hale, for the last few years who's actually with Disney. And this year, I think it was actually Dean. Everything seems to somehow go back to Dean. I don't know how that works out, but somehow it happens. He said, hey, why don't we fly a bunch of the FIRST folks out to California to Walt Disney Imagineering, and they can kind of show us how they do things. And so we did that, and it was fantastic. I don't know if you've ever walked into a room full of people and just get the sense that everybody there knows their stuff. That's kind of what it was like.
So an FRC competition?
Yeah. It was fantastic. So we had a large group there. They gave up 2 days. Obviously, they're extraordinarily busy. Gave up, a day and a half of their time. We did some terrific brainstorming. One thing led to another. We invited one of the folks from Walt Disney Imagineering out to FIRST. When we were doing one of our kind of game development on-sites, we loved him so much, we immediately invited him to be part of GDC. His name is Joey Caparoso, and he's actually now the producer for the 26th game, and he's just been working us through the whole kind of production process and how you go about sort of building a really strong story, a really strong emotional component to things such as games, which is something we're going to have in 2016.
Very cool. So is that sort of why you guys went with this honestly very different approach? I mean, when I saw that we were going to have a trailer this early, a teaser this early, I was shocked. I almost hit the floor. Normally it's really late. What made you guys do that?
One of the things that we are really looking to do is to what we say reach outside the tent. We do a pretty good job, inside the tent. Folks kind of tend to like us, FRC, the program a great deal. Once they get into it, they see what it's like. It's great. The problem is kind of reaching outside the existing tent and getting folks that don't know about us into the tent and see what it's all like and getting them excited about that. So we're really intentionally going for something this year that has sort of a broader appeal, the kind of thing where you can look at it and say, that's pretty intriguing. I want to find out more about that, even if I haven't maybe thought about getting involved in robots or maybe even sort of technology in the past. So that's a definite direction that we're heading with Disney's help.
Wow.
That's awesome. I know personally, I watched the Robo League video that came out a little while ago, and that was along the same vein, absolutely fantastic for showing people outside of the circle because it brings such of that sports emotion into
and the human element.
And the human element. So I'm really excited to see this new direction.
I'll tell you, that video is probably the best that I've ever seen in terms of showing off what FIRST is really about. And you talk about reality TV, and we know that reality TV is mostly fake. Well, this was real reality TV. I mean, you saw the emotions and just the intensity the folks as they were getting involved at the championship, and I love that video. I think it's fantastic. And this is also along those same kind of lines where we're trying to reach out and emotionally grab people and get their interest and say, hey, come check this out. It's pretty cool.
Awesome. Well, I'm very excited to see the trailer. We're going to show it off in just a couple of quick seconds. But
Well, don't lie to him. Minutes.
yeah, okay, minute. There are still seconds involved, though. But first, I just want to let everyone know that we're going to, excuse me, I'm going to let everybody know that if you have reactions or questions you want to ask us, there are a couple ways you can get it to us. You can tweet with the hashtag FRC 2016, or you can use, if you're watching on Twitch TV, you can use our Twitch chat bot. Just type !Q followed by your question, and we'll be putting up some reaction for people over the course of the evening tonight. And if you're watching with a group, make sure you shout out to us because we want to hear about you, all the folks out there that are getting together with all of their teams to watch the premiere this evening. Alrighty. So with that, Frank, do you have anything else before we let you go and get down to business?
Just a couple quick things, because
Sure.
I know everyone is anxious to get on to the next guest and get on to the teaser itself. First, I really want to thank Walt Disney Imagineering for all their support on this. I think you're really going to enjoy this teaser. It's very different from anything that we've ever done before. I think that's very safe to say. I think you're going to love it. What I would ask the folks watching, if they do love it, remember that the idea behind this teaser is we're trying to reach outside the tent. So if you like it, please share it. Please tweet it out, email it, put it on Facebook, whatever you think is going to get folks that maybe are not familiar with FRC and FIRST to take a look at the program and maybe start to get intrigued, maybe get involved, maybe not this season, but maybe next season. Please, please, please if you like the teaser, and I think you will, please get the word out. And that's all I had.
Awesome. Well, good points on both accounts, Frank. And Frank, thank you very much for getting this all set up and for joining us here on the show this evening.
Thanks so much, guys. Have fun with it.
Thank you very
Bye,
much.
Frank. Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye, Frank.
Thanks, Frank.
Alrighty, we're going to transition to our first pair of guests for the evening. We're going to just introduce them real quick. First up, we have our two esteemed guests. Jared, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Jared Russell. I'm a mentor for Team 254, the Cheesy Poops right now. Previously as a mentor with Team 341, Miss Daisy. I'm really excited to be here.
Cool. And Christine, why don't you tell us a little about yourself?
Hey guys, my name is Christine Natia. I'm a mentor for Team 125, the Neutrons out of Boston, and I am a alumni of Team 175, Buzz Robotics out of Connecticut.
All right, very cool. Well, thank you guys for joining us on the show again tonight. So we're bringing you on the show. We're going to have you come up in just a little bit and talk about your reactions to the game. But before we get there, can you guys tell us what you think the game will be? What kind of clues do you have for now?
All right, I'll go ahead. So I think Frank kind of confirmed my suspicions. I think that in the past years, they've definitely tried to throw in a theme, and I think it's going to be bigger this year to try to involve, more sponsors, like he said, more people that are outside of the tent. I'm hoping that there's a nice sort of theme that can integrate with education, so like us educators can get our schools more involved and not have to battle that so much.
Cool. What do you have any preference? Any ideas you might want to have for a theme?
No, I mean I think FIRST and Disney combined can come up with something awesome to surprise us all.
Cool. Awesome. Jared, what are your thoughts on it? What do you think is going to happen before we see what's actually happening?
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I mean, this is pretty unprecedented to have the FIRST community come together like this in October to look at something that we all are going to have a vested interest in. So I'm really happy to see that FIRST is going outside the tent to people like at Disney to help them with this, because they know how to make an impact and draw people's emotion. I'm also really happy to see that FIRST is willing to go inside the tent too, and bring Game Sense on to be a part of this really special moment.
Cool. Alrighty. Well, with that, anybody else have anything they want to add before we go on to our next set of guests?
Now let's go for it.
All right, cool. We're going to switch away from you guys real quick. We're going to move on to our two teams we have here tonight. We have with us from Texas, team number 148, the Robo Wranglers. Guys, what do you got? Hello, can you say hello?
Hey guys,
Hello.
I'm Adrian. I'm the lead teacher for 148.
And I'm Grant. I'm the lead strategy mentor for 148.
And we just have to say that 148, we have our popcorn ready. Really excited.
Awesome. All right, and also joining us this evening are the folks from Team 2337, the Engineers. Why don't you guys say hello?
How's it going? My name's Clinton Bollinger. I'm the head mentor from Team 2337, the Engineers, out of Grand Blanc, Michigan. Got a few students here ready to
Whoa, a few of them. Holy cow.
And, and a couple mentors who probably want to stay off camera. We're excited to see what FRC has for us. Kind of wondering what they have.
Cool. So, Engineers, do you guys have any good guesses what could be in the hint this year?
I think they're gonna do kind of something a little more classic. Maybe have a shadow of the field, maybe a shadow of some of the game pieces. Enough to kind of get your mind thinking, but not give you the whole story.
Interesting. Robo Wranglers, what are your thoughts?
Well, we actually forgot to let the whole team say hi, so we're gonna let you say
Oh,
hi.
yeah.
Yeah, they've got a viewing party too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There they are.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, 148.
No. Robo Wranglers. Oh, gotcha.
Don't look too excited there, 148.
Yeah.
So, I think we were all warned last year that change was coming, and change definitely came.
Yeah.
So, I think we're in store for some more. I'm really excited about the Disney collaboration, and I can't wait to see what that's going to bring to the table. Grant?
Yeah, with it coming so early in the year, just like Jared, I'm really excited to see what prompted this. And so my bet is that it's going to be something major, something game-changing that doesn't necessarily give people a hint for robot design. And so I've been joking about things like 4-team alliances for a long time, and Disney does have 4 major parks. So at Disney World. So
Ooh, interesting.
Grant, you got one of my students excited. He thinks there's going to be 3 alliances next year. He thinks there's going to be a green
I
alliance.
also have just
A green alliance? That's like a whole nother website that could pop up. We've got the red alliance, we've got the blue alliance.
Yep.
That's true. Alrighty, well, I think we're just about ready to show off the premiere of the video. So just to let everybody at home know, what we're going to do is after we show the video, we're going to show it to you a couple times so you guys can see it here. Also, when it's made available, we're going to post the link in the chat so people can view it on their own as well. But right after we've done premiering the trailer here on GameSense, we're going to go into a discussion. We're going to start with Christine and Jared. We're going to see what they think about the teaser. Actually, we're going to go into the GameSense host. Then we're going to go into Christine and crew, and then we're going to go into the 2 teams and see what they have to say. So stay tuned after the teaser's up. Alrighty, everybody. Everybody ready? You guys ready?
I'm ready.
Ready?
Yeah.
Everybody at home ready?
Yeah,
All right. Type 1 in the chat if you're ready. No, don't do that. Don't ready. All right. Here we go. I'm going to switch it over to our director, Stephanie, behind the scenes. Stephanie, show us what you got.
Build your champion. Rally your kingdom. And face the challenge ahead. Together.
Holy cow. Actually, that was pretty cool. Okay, I'm wicked hype. I want to see it again. Can we show that one more time for everybody back at home so they can see everything they missed the first time?
Hashtag stronghold.
We're going to go one more time real quick here. Once we get the video reversed. All right, here we go.
champion. Rally your kingdom. And face the challenge ahead. Together.
Holy cow. Wow. We knew it was going to be crazy, but that was pretty crazy. What do you guys think?
Oh man. You know what? Actually, Naveed, you weren't in the extra call we had. I want to know what your thoughts are.
Well, I did watch it a few minutes before we started, and I had the chance to think about it. And I think the number one thing that stood out to me right off the bat is they focus on those 6 kids quite a bit. And I'm not sure if we're going to see perhaps a smaller alliance or if we're going to see some sort of race against the clock cooperative kind of challenge like we saw quite a few years back.
Actually, can we just take one quick step back?
Sure.
We know the game of the game already. It's Stronghold. We know the name of the game. What? That's crazy. Like,
Check your clocks, everybody. Check your calendars. It's October.
Yep. It's October 14th, 2015, CE or AD, depending on where you are. We know the name of the game for this coming year. Holy cow.
Yeah,
That's
and another
crazy.
really important thing is there's a URL at the end of that video.
Yes, there's a URL. So I memorized it. It's usfirst.org/first 2016. Is that correct?
FRC 2016.
FRC 2016. I memorized it wrong. FRC 2016. We're gonna have it go up on our right below us down here, so it'll show up for everybody. Take a look at that website. I don't know what's going to be at that website. Why don't you guys let us know what's there? So that should be pretty cool. But I mean, Stronghold. What does that mean to you guys? What does the word Stronghold mean to you?
Well, one thing that we did see in the whole video, we only saw blue, 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 blue. We didn't see red until the very end when they said face the challenge ahead together. So, I would like to posit that the Imagineers are currently developing a giant robot dragon, and the people of First are supposed to fight it and prevent it from taking over the world.
All right. Well, there you have it. You heard it here first, everybody.
Yep,
Giant robot dragons.
Have a good night, guys.
Do the math. Save the world, people.
Not a water game, but a fire game. A fire dragon.
Oh, have we had an earth and a wind game as well? Because I think we got all 4 of the elements together there. But no, Ty, that's a really, really cool point. That like it's all Blue Alliance. Oh man, this is so cool. But also, haven't the Imagineers already made animatronic dragons in the past? Is this like easy for them, right?
Yep.
So maybe they really will be taking over the world. I don't know.
I mean, I definitely think there's going to be some kind of structure involved here with all the castles and tents and stuff. I'm excited for that. I think it's not going to be just a flat field, and there's going to be some obstacles there, sort of on the nitty gritty end. And Stronghold to me, you gotta break into something, right? You gotta break through.
Siege.
So, yeah, I really think that there's going to be a big obstacle that teams maybe have to work together to get around different parts of the field that can't be accessed by one robot. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. The other thing is that if you notice the top of that tower, there was a very obvious pole that had a flagpole with no flag. You know, if you didn't catch that in the last 2 viewings of the video.
Oh, mini bots.
Oh, hey, you never know. They might be back. I mean, you never know. I mean, FTC changed the rules this year, so maybe we won't have to use the FTC motors. But what do you guys think of that? Is there anything in there? I think there's something there because they definitely showed a red flag without a pole and a pole without a flag. I don't know. What do you guys think?
With a dragon on it.
Once you conquer the stronghold, you got to raise the flag.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Huh. This is gonna be pretty wild. What do you guys think about, like, from an aesthetic standpoint there? What do you think about the video itself?
That was super cool.
So
yeah.
So I think that Christine really hit it on the head here, and that this is a very attractive, easy to view teaser and it directs people. It inspires people and directs people directly to the website where they can get involved nice and easy.
Yeah, that's true. And speaking of Christine, I think we've covered enough over here. Why don't we bring in Christine and Jared and hear what they have to say about the reveal there. This is the first time that they've seen it as well. So Jared and Christine, come on over. Go ahead and turn on your sound so we can hear what you have to say.
Christine,
Right.
what do you think?
I'm glad you gave me some time to, scoop my brain up off the floor because it just exploded.
This is why we wear
I'm really
headsets.
excited.
Mess.
I'm really glad to see that there's like a really heavy theme. My mind automatically went to like what is around that castle. I'm an art teacher, and my 4th grade neighbors do projects on like castles, and their favorite part is always like, let's stick alligators in the moats, like let's make a drawbridge that leads to the castle. So now my mind is, thinking outside of that beautiful imagery that they just gave us and what else is in store for us.
Yeah. There's a few things I noticed in that video. One is if you look at the tents at the very beginning, you see 3 different color flags on the top of the tent. Some of them are blue, some of them are red, some of them are yellow. So I don't know what the deal with that is. One other thing to notice is the little cartoon robot they drew. There were bumpers on that, and so we already knew that noodles were coming back. But I think also there's a hint there about the dimensions of the robots. If you look at that robot, it is approximately a 28 by 28 robot. So
short too. Yeah.
Look for every edge. And I think it's pretty clear the game is we're reenacting the Third Crusade. So we'll have the forces of Europe and the forces of Saladin, and we're just going to, at Champs, we're going to have the best robot reenactment of all time.
Camels. We're going to need a lot of camels.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like how you specifically mentioned the Third Crusade as opposed to any other crusade. That was good.
That was the best one.
I just actually, late breaking news, everybody. We just got an email from Frank himself. You go to usfirst.org/FRC 2016. That's the link that was at the end of the video. There it will be the teaser is now posted there for your infinite viewing pleasure. So go ahead and watch that a few more times if you want. It's live and ready to go. Cool.
Dissect over the next 3 months.
Yes, we only have. Yeah, this is the downside of this is that we have 3 months.
Frame by frame analysis.
Yes, 3 months to rack our brains over this.
I'm looking forward to all the terrible MLG style YouTube videos that are going to come out of this.
Has anybody watched it backwards yet?
I don't think so. Not yet. So just another reminder too, if you have reactions, make sure to tweet them with hashtag FRC 2016 or use our GameSense chatbot, !Q, send it our way. We're looking to hear what you guys have to say about it too out there in television land. So what else do you guys think? What do you guys think? I mean, what do you think about the actual like art style? Christine, I know you're an art teacher. What do you think?
I went to college for that. I mean, I think it's really unique, and I think it's really engaging. It's definitely very different from any other sort of like FRC animation or video that we've seen, and I feel like we're getting a lot of that lately, especially with like the Robo League video, which I know other people had talked about before. I'm still obsessed with that video. I think it's a great encapsulation of First, and I think this is another video to add to that new library of new media that we're getting for this upcoming season. And I also think that every team that has like a night theme to it is probably going nuts right now. They're like, this is our year. So I hope everybody, the Power Knights are going nuts. Midnight Inventors are probably going ballistic right now. Like, this is your year.
Yep.
Imagery award. There you go.
Yeah, I thought the style was actually a really clever choice on the part of Disney and First. Frequently, like when you're in software engineering or whatever, and you're doing a UX mock-up, you intentionally make it look like a cartoon so that people get the idea and get excited about it, but don't have the expectation that if you measure how many pixels tall that castle was, it's probably not going to be that tall in real life. So I thought it was a good choice.
Says the guy who counted the pixels of the robot dimensions.
Well,
that's totally different. Totally different.
That's totally different. Yes, absolutely.
I think that brings up a good point though, because last year's teaser was Frank throwing bumpers in a recycling bin, right? And that only pertains to people that already know First, right? Where this can be broadcasted to almost anyone in the world that speaks English, and and they can understand that there's a robot and there's conflict and you've got to build a team, and that and you can go there and you can join this website, and I think that that's going to be a really powerful thing and a really powerful tool for First to use.
Yeah, I'm looking for the Kickstarter for this new indie game.
Exactly.
Yeah, it does.
Brought
It
to you
does
by
sort of
Supergiant.
Yes, it
I'd
does sort
play
of
that.
have-
I really would.
Yeah.
Well, I
mean,
think
they
it's
did a-
also really like friendly to all ages as well. Like I could see a
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
Christine,
on,
we lost your
Christine.
audio.
like, oh, this is super engaging. But I think I was watching this without any audio, and it was still, telling a great story and getting me really excited.
That's true. That's very true. Actually, I like that. That's a very astute observation. That it's kind of like, it's yeah, cool. All right,
It's very
so
Disney, right? The visual style tells the story, and everything else on top of it enhances that. And I can't help but think, from what Frank said earlier, that they've been involved in some other stuff, that we might start seeing that come into the game as well, where I'm really hoping, I've been hoping for a number of years that we get to this game where just watching it explains itself. You don't have to spend all this time trying to explain the nuances of the rules to somebody. Aerial assist was close to it, where it's pretty obvious just from watching it that you pass the ball along the field and you put it in the end and you score. But I really hope that they bring that in, because that would be huge.
cool.
Yeah, I agree with that. And when you say that, what comes to mind is like 2005, when it was a very obvious like 3D tic-tac-toe. Like maybe this will be another year where it's very visually intuitive and anybody can pick up on it.
Yeah, that's true. Last year's was actually pretty good about that as well. Although it was a little weird why the robots weren't touching each other, but it is what it is. All right, so we've got some feedback from the people out there in the internet land. We're going to put the first response up here. Going to put it up on the screen. Here it comes. All right, so we have an idea here from, I can't pronounce your name. Looks like a John at the end, though. Maybe slightly different game for each color. Red plays a defensive game, blue plays an offensive game.
Ooh.
Did you guys get a vibe about that? What are your thoughts?
I think that would be really awesome. But can you imagine how angry the people would be that have to make up the schedules?
Yep. It creates an inequity in the game design, and although it creates some cool mechanics. I mean, in 2006, people really liked the alternating offense-defense periods, but I think if you have an entire match that is just a single type of play style, it may really affect how seeding plays out.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I mean, we've seen this before, not in First, but in some other things, where you've got this sort of asymmetrical game design where it's balanced, but it's not the same game on each side. But that takes a long time and a lot of testing to prove out, which is something that First doesn't really have. So
Or do they?
Well, yeah, we don't know. Maybe the Imagineers have been building robots for years in preparation for this and testing, and it's just now coming to light. Secret building in Southern California. But I could see maybe something more like what you mentioned, Naveed, with 2006, where you've got this sort of, they switch partway through the match from one game style to another. That'd be cool to see again.
Jared and Christine, what do you guys think? Did you guys? I didn't get that vibe from watching the video. What did you guys think?
Yeah, I think it's really hard. I think getting defense right is one of the hardest things about designing a first game. When there's no defense, you end up with recycle rush, and it's very easy to go the other way, especially because the hint was pretty strongly hinting at trying to gain access to some structure, some important game object on top of that tower there. I don't know, obviously, what the details of that are going to be, but if you're talking about doing that while defense is being played on you, that's a recipe for not a whole lot of very high scoring matches. So I'm sure there'll be defensive component of the game, but I'd be very surprised if it was a totally asymmetric game or something that was totally defense heavy.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but now I'm starting to think defense, we didn't have any defense last year, and I think people are just ready to have that, robot on robot defense, but what if the defense is with something else? It's, not a robot necessarily, it's an object or a game piece, or something else. defense doesn't necessarily have to be robot on robot interaction. So that's where my mind's going right now.
Interesting. That's kind of interesting. All right. Well, thank you for your comment, Mr. John of some name I can't pronounce. We're going to see what else somebody else had to say here in the community. Going to put that up right now. All right. Ooh, this is Emily with an H, 3467. Notice the first logo has changed. Art style. Is that true? Did that happen? Is that real? Anybody see that? Question mark?
I wasn't paying attention at that point.
I mean, I know there's been some stuff.
Oh, here we go. Oh, we've gone to black. Oh.
Are we
Looks
talking
pretty
about
much
the
right.
scented first logo?
You're right. If you look underneath the word
Ooh.
stronghold there,
Yeah.
it's definitely a little bit more, it looks different. Christine, do you see a difference?
No.
No?
No.
It's leaning the other way.
I don't see a difference.
Okay. It looks like it's leaning the other way. It looks like it has a different font.
I think the square is like those two corners typically like touch each other, but I think the square is just overlapping. So it's a tiny bit different, but it's not like drastically
If you
different.
scroll up, you can see the current first logo at the top left corner of the page, and the new one below Stronghold.
Oh, yeah.
The very distinct tilt.
It's definitely not quite the same.
So does that mean we have a tilted field this year?
I was gonna say, it looks a little
Oh,
lean back.
pinball. It's a pinball game. Okay.
I just have to say, I absolutely love the font that they've chosen for the
Stronghold?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
the game name.
Launching January 9th. That's cool.
Oh,
Looks
launching.
like somebody,
Trebuchets.
Yeah.
somebody hammered out the papyrus font.
All right, we're gonna. So, by the way, this is the website that you saw at the end of the video, usfirst.org/FRC 2016. If you want to go visit that, you can check it out. We're going to go back to one more question, so we're going to bring us back on screen. We'll do one more question. Boo, 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 boo. All right, next question here. All right, did anyone know that the field is shown on the blueprints?
What?
Really? I didn't see that. I guess I didn't look closely enough.
There's your
Did you guys
frame by
see
frame,
anything?
folks.
Yeah, get your frame by frame. Enhance, yes. Get all CSI on us here.
So I'm looking at it right now, and I see what amounts to a bunch of shoes and some coiled rope.
That's it.
There you
That's
go.
the field.
We got our
We're
game.
scaling a wall.
Ladies and gentlemen, FRC 2016.
Shoes on your robot. Screw your Coulson wheels. I've got Timberlands.
Oh boy.
All right,
The
so
challenge
before
of climbing a wall would be a really interesting one.
Yeah. Well, even just having a robot manipulate a rope in any shape or fashion.
I don't like that entanglement.
If you got to lower a drawbridge, man, you got to use the rope.
All right, well, guys, thank you for joining us. We're going to transition over to talking to 148 and Team 2337 in just a couple of minutes. But Christine and Jared, do you have anything else to add before we switch over? Christine?
Nope, I'm just excited, and it's only October.
Yep, cool. Jared, anything else?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I want to see what else First has up their sleeve.
Cool. All right. Well, guys, we look forward to hearing more from you guys. We look forward to seeing what your teams build in the upcoming Stronghold season, whatever the game may be. And thank you very much for joining us on this really special night and coming to talk about robots with us on GameSense.
Anytime.
Yeah, thanks
All
for
right.
having me.
No problem, guys. All right. So with them there, we're going to transition over to talking to Team 148 and Team 2337.
Dun, da, da.
Da, 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 da. All righty. Hello, folks. How are you all doing?
We're great over here.
Excited.
Excited? Cool. Clint, Christine, how are you and the engineers doing?
I think we're doing pretty good. We got a couple ideas. We were looking at the videos. We even took screenshots to look at that blueprint a little bit closer.
Oh, really?
Well, high
Yeah,
tech.
so
Hey, Clint?
so here.
Oh boy, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we got
don't
the
mess around.
super, we're direct from a YouTube video onto Clint's phone, over
Yeah.
Skype, into a computer, out on another stream.
You know, Clint, that's impressive, but I gotta say those Vex prototypes in the back that the Robo Wranglers are working on,
Yeah,
those
exactly.
really, they take the cake.
Yeah. I don't put them under the tarp. So one of the things that you do look, if you look closely at the blueprint, you see kind of two towers in the center. Looks like one might be on the right side of the field and one might be on the left. Some of the thoughts that we had was you might have to try to capture, kind of a capture the flag, raise your flag, lower the other person, so an attack and a defend style of game. So that was one thing we saw by looking at the blueprints.
Huh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so we to start our conversation, we weren't listening to anything that you guys said, so we may repeat things from earlier. But we actually have a few students that are gonna rotate in and out and tell you a few of our thoughts. So I'm gonna hand it.
Cool. Why don't we? Hello, student. What's your name? I'm Francis. How are you?
Hi, I'm Katie. I'm a rookie on the team.
Cool. Very cool.
Katie.
Just speak up a little bit and give us your thoughts.
Speak up. What did you notice?
We thought about co-op, and the only words said in the trailer were "Build your champions, rally your kingdom, face a challenge ahead," and we think you'll be working with your alliance really close together.
What else did you see with the building your building your alliance line was in there? We saw a couple things in the trailer that had to do with building things or passing them, right?
Yeah, we passed tools from different people, and it.
Oh, very cool, very cool. Thank you, Katie. All right. So next up, we've got Clint. You're gonna love this one. This is my buddy Andrew.
Hi.
Andrew.
Hi, how you doing, Grant?
Well, I'm doing just fine there.
Wait. All right. Hold up. Who is this kid? Who is?
Andrew, I'm third year on the team.
Oh, very cool. So why does Clint find it interesting?
Well, Andrew, why don't you talk about what you saw?
All right, so one thing we noticed here, one second, took some notes actually.
Oh boy.
We were watching the video. We saw lots of armor. The whole video suggested lots of defense, and bouncing off of what Katie said, lots of strategy with your team. In a defensive game, you can't have a completely defensive game, or you'd both just sit there. So we were kind of thinking some sort of a capture the flag or a king of the hill, or some game that involved a lot of defense but offense. And maybe one person would guard the flag, one person would go get the enemy's flag, maybe one person would protect you while you stayed on the hill. And the name Stronghold, it means to guard something. So if somebody's guarding, somebody has to be attacking. So very heavily defensive game, but also requires some cooperation in offense, like capture the flag or king of the hill.
Clint, when you said that, he over here went like, "Oh."
I'm sorry.
You're in cahoots.
So we've got so the overall idea that led into the game. We've got a game concept, capture the flag. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.
Our next student has the third piece of the puzzle here.
Which is a prototype.
So why don't you introduce yourself and talk about what you saw?
Hello, my name's Rachel. I'm here on the Robo Wranglers. So one big thing that we noticed during the video was, of course, Disney has a big emotional impact on a lot of people, and so we definitely think an in-game is in store for us.
I hope so.
Yes, please.
A punch at the end of every game, and something along with the storm. We also think that was kind of a,
Maybe the in-game sound.
yeah, an impactful, exciting into not only the trailer but maybe also every match. So.
Huh. Cool.
Thank you,
Hey, so engineers, what do you guys? Thank you very much for talking with us again. Engineers, what do you guys think? You guys have any thoughts on what the 148's been saying?
Yeah, I mean, some of the other stuff that we wrote down as some of our notes is when they talked about build your champion, we figured that was your robot. Rally your kingdom would be your team, and face the challenge together talks about your alliance. So it's the standard format, but in more of a thematic. The other thing that we thought was interesting, that it might be intense. Actually intense.
Oh God.
So.
Oh man.
Yeah, sorry. So the other stuff we noticed, there was one scene where you actually see maybe 2 drivers, a coach, and maybe 3 human players, all from the same team. So are we getting more, maybe more drive team members? Don't know. They're all wearing the same colors, almost as if they were from the same team with their robot. So potentially 6 people behind the glass, more than normal.
What do you guys think about that? Do you think 6 people behind the glass is cool, or what do you guys think? What does everybody else think?
Maybe we've got human players on the robots, and we have a jousting tournament in order.
Oh boy.
So I'm actually joined here my buddy Coleman, who has a thought on that as well. Coleman.
Oh, Coleman, go ahead.
I hope not.
So it says launching January 9th and a tower in the background on the website. And so we think that the human player could be inside the tower launching things onto the field.
Oh, that'd be cool. Or ready for this? I like that idea, but let's flip it around. And why don't we just make Angry Birds? Have the robots throw stuff at the towers and see if they can knock it down. Huh? Come on. It's Angry Birds make a lot of money, so why not?
That's so terrifying, though, because you know that crazy team out there, like 469, will come out with this like rail gun that just blows a hole through the floor, and then there's no more tower for anybody to knock down ever.
Well, doesn't that mean they win, right? That means they win, I think, right?
Right. It's a chokehold strategy.
Yep, it's true. So, Jeff, anything else? Oh, go ahead, Clint.
Another theory that we were talking about was very similar to like a 2005 type game, where you have the different towers that you're trying to cap with your color. So maybe, First lately has been trying to throw back to older games. So maybe it's a chance for us to have that game kind of come back and have a new version of it in this new era.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Yeah, maybe it might be a take on one of those, like, your classic armies battle games where at the end you have to try and like take over their base type thing. So it's got that capture the flag component, but you got to go in there and plant something and then come back out and breach the defenses again.
Yeah.
Or maybe to go full on with that, we could have it just be like a real RPG. It'll be just 2.5 minutes of just macro, just sitting in the corner doing nothing, and then in the last 30 seconds it'll be scoring.
So you're saying you don't have human players. You've got 4 robot builders that have to build their robot for the first 2 minutes, and then the end game is
go.
So your head ref will be your dungeon master.
No, we picked up on a lot of that building theme as well. We noticed that a couple of our students noticed the building, like it looked like they were putting armor on the robot or armor to the tower. So I don't think that's entirely too far-fetched.
Interesting. Wow. I kind of want to see that. I don't know if I want to play that, but I want to at least see it happen. I don't know.
I don't know if anybody else picked up on the new safety regulations. Not only do you need safety glasses, but you need helmets.
Ooh, there you go. preferably made of chain with a little thing in the front between your eyes, just to protect that part too.
The player that's sitting in the tower needs to wear chainmail, I believe.
Yes. Well. Gloves are banned. Gauntlets are okay though. That's what we're getting at, I think.
and the coach gets a broadsword.
Yes.
So I got another note from one of our students.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this just in, right?
Presses.
They stated that no mention of balls. Maybe not a pattern like they've been doing in previous years. The ball, no ball, kind of back and forth on that. So there wasn't any mention of balls, so we really don't know the game piece. Will that still stick around for this year, or will it be something different?
Will we have a game piece at all?
Yeah.
In a game like Stronghold, it maybe evokes this idea that the entire point is to gain access to a certain part of the field, and there's no particular game piece. You just have to break through.
How can a game be real if our pieces aren't real?
Oh my God!
Half my team just walked out the room.
We're done.
Wait, for
that's
those,
pretty good though.
For this, for the mentors and the slightly younger ones at that, could we possibly just have robots playing Legends of the Hidden Temple?
Whoa! Mind blown.
I wish, I will say this. I want to see that, but more. I just want to play that. I want there to be a real Legends of the Hidden Temple for grown-ups, but that's the thing right there.
Right? Nickelodeon Studios, like, all your kids go over there, have fun with SpongeBob. We're going this way.
We're going this way, yes. Oh, man. All right, well, we're going to get a reaction, some comments from the community out here. Again, tweet to us with the hashtag FRC 2016, and we'll look at your question, and we might put it up on the show. All right, here comes the first one coming down the pipe right now. This is from Dish Kid. Okay, great name, son. What about a game that requires a modular robot? What does it mean by? What do you guys think a modular robot means? What does he mean by that?
148. Yeah. You have an experience with this?
That's scary to think about. You guys ready to do that again? I got a resound yes.
All right. Seems legit.
Yep.
Well, I mean, they mentioned it earlier too. The idea of adding armor, potentially adding extra things for defensive capabilities, or having potentially different roles.
Yeah, and you could see with the whole like working together thing, maybe there's like 3 standard attachments. We've seen standard attachments before, like in 2009. If you've got, a couple standard attachments and one has to go on each robot, there's something potentially.
I thought it was kind of interesting on the video of the robot. The arms of the robot seemed very designed in a certain way. I don't know, when watching it, it seemed like those arms were kind of not a normal robot arms.
Mhm.
Yeah, like it was to lock into something or pick something up. So I thought that was interesting. I also felt, I agree with Jared said. What Jared said earlier is that the robot really seemed like it had a defined dimension, of a certain size. So I think the rule of going as big as you want might not be here this year, but it definitely seemed like it had a certain size to it.
Huh,
Yeah,
interesting.
that we noticed. We noticed that they spent a lot of time focusing on the groups working on that robot, passing tools back between each other, and so I think some sort of either modularity, or I love the standard attachment idea actually that you just came up with. I could see that kind of thing.
Yeah.
The other thing to remember is Frank was definitely talking about opening up the tent or going outside the tent. Excuse me.
Tents.
More about tents. So maybe what he was really going for there was just talking about like maybe having all those people pass tools around is sort of just showing people what FRST is about, sort of what the GP and all that is.
Or maybe the new pit regulations. Maybe you have to bring a tent to competition.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the P&W will be all set. Oh man,
it's like camping.
Yeah, it is. And the other thing to note is that did that robot look a little bit like a friend of ours from years past? Did anybody else notice that?
That's exactly what I told Naveed.
Pepperonis.
Actually noticed that too.
So maybe Plowy 2016. His name is
He's learned
Plowy,
a new
right?
trick if he's got arms, though.
It's his ancestor, his ancient ancestor.
Oh yeah! Oh, make a proto Plowy! Oh my god! Whoa, that's so cool. Okay, I hope. Okay, you sold me, Clint. You guys have sold me on that one. I'm good.
Everyone's freaking out that you're calling it Plowy, by the way. They're
Why?
like, oh my god, guys, it's Dozer.
Oh, excuse me. I didn't know it was Dozer. I always called it Plowy when I look. It's a New England thing, all right. It's Plowy up here. Kind of like
Back in my day, it was called Plowy, all right.
Yeah, it's like Bubbler or Barrel or Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know, but okay. My apologies to the FRST community to Dave Lavery for misnaming his robot. Its name is Dozer. All right, we're gonna move on from that question. We're gonna go to another one coming right up the pike here, I believe. All right, here we go. This is from Sevens. One team here. How about this? One team having to do offense, and one team having to do defense. So possibly Castle on one side and attack game piece on this side. I think we kind of talked about that. You guys think that's about right? What does everyone else think?
Our team picked up on that as well. We actually made a tie back to 2006 with the switching and either one team offense the whole time, one team defense the whole time, or definitely some sort of switch in the. I think
Yeah, we saw that a little bit in 2010 too, with the whole restriction of how many defensive bots could be in that one zone. I definitely think we could see something like that.
This just in. Your flag might be something that gets to be placed on one of the robots. Perhaps you have to choose your champion.
Yeah,
That's what Jen just sent me.
But you're supposed to build your champion.
You got to
Build your
actually
champion.
launch your mini-bot up the flagpole to hit the top. To raise the flag.
That's the standard attachment. It's something that the other robot puts onto you during the match. How about that?
Yeah.
This is gonna be crazy. Whatever it is, it's gonna be crazy. And if it's not, I think like everybody's gonna be totally let down.
Yes. You can't really go back to medieval times and not have something that's medieval times and crazy like that, you know. We're gonna go to another crowd reaction here, coming right up. It says, all right, it says face the challenge together and shows a red flag. Maybe a game where red and blue alliances work together, and that's Poseidon 1671, which I'm guessing is from 1671. Interesting. What do you guys think about that? That seems kind of like exactly what FRST would do, and exactly what FRST hasn't done in a very long time.
I mean, I guess my opinion on that, I think we're going to go back to more of a standard, defense, offensive tactics. The thing that we also have a note here on is that there are yellow flags, so maybe the yellow flags are unclaimed, and then the red and blue are once they become claimed. But I think you are going to be trying to go against your opponents. Who knows? First could throw us a curveball.
Yeah, you pick up those yellow flags to go get the super flags, and then you can take the super flags out and plant them places, claim territory.
Possibly. 148. What's you guys take on this?
As soon as we saw the yellow flag, Grant was like, "Oh, more alliances confirmed." But
I said that, and then at the end of the video, the logo, actually, one of our students noticed this. It's 2 blue lines and 2 red lines, so 2 team alliances confirmed.
Ooh, interesting. Ooh, that'd be pretty. That would make sense. 6 teams, 3 alliances, still makes sense.
I like Clint's idea though that the yellow flag is some sort of cooperation or something that the two alliances are sharing, or maybe it's a robot. Maybe it's 2 alliances with some yellow cooperation robot that has to do something else during the match.
That was the note I just got from my student. Yellow was
Look, we're on the same page tonight.
There you go, man.
That's great. Actually, if you'll indulge me for 1 second, I think I have the whole game figured out, and it's a game that Evan and I came up with back in like 2006 for a competition we do called Savage Soccer. Right? Ready? Don't worry. Wait. Hold up, Evan. All right. You get flat. It's whoever's flag is highest. Okay, and you're building the tower out of pieces on the field. You're like stacking boxes and stuff, and then your robot either has to climb it or place the flag on top of that tower.
Now, what if you were to make this tower out of gray toads?
Yep.
And your flag was a pool noodle inside of a recycling container.
No, that actually makes a lot of sense. You know what? We should do that. That's actually
Gray toads make pretty good castles. Just gonna say that. And we got a lot of them left over. Like a lot of them.
Yeah, it was basically a castle game last year.
Now we're just recycling ideas.
Actually,
I
wouldn't
rush. And puns.
Grant, that's terrible.
What Grant said again?
200 points.
Yes.
Grant said he's not rushing to any conclusions.
I'm so sorry to litter this chat.
No. And rush is yellow, so that brings us back to the okay. I
okay. Oh, interesting. Okay.
So,
all right.
So 27 is now got hired by Disney Imagineers. That's how it works.
Yes, I believe that's confirmed.
And the team that Disney Imagineering sponsors is 207.
Okay.
Oh wow!
Oh,
actually,
all right.
Way too far down the rabbit hole.
Illuminati confirmed.
Maybe getting some notes from your team. I just got one. Strongholds have moats. Water game.
Oh, okay. Well,
ding,
ladies and gentlemen,
ding.
Yep, you said the magic words. We're going to mute you now. Thank you for being on Game Sense.
Yeah,
it was great meeting with you, 148.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye. No, we love you anyway. Can I just say to all the young folks out there, okay, when I was a freshman in first in 2003, that joke was old back then. Okay, it's been, 12 years since then? Stop, please. Okay.
But for them, the joke is only ever 4 years old at most.
Okay, that's true. Okay. All right, so we're going to go to one last question from the crowd here. We're going to put them up on the screen. This one comes up from Joey Wood, 23. What do you think of optional bumpers in reference to taking off / putting on armor? Ooh, interesting. Okay.
I like it. Designated defense players.
Yeah. I like the concept. I'm not sure if it's actually going to happen. 148 and Clint, 2337. What do you guys think? I can tell you guys are teams that like bumpers.
Well, let me tell you, we didn't miss building bumpers last year.
Oh yeah,
nobody misses building them.
No.
But we're glad they're back.
Yeah, we were also glad to see they're back. Optional, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, see, the tough thing, I mean, it might be an interesting concept to maybe have the chosen ones to go out and play in an area where they might have some interaction, where maybe one of the robot is behind the stronghold and has to do a task of moving things back and forth or prepping things to give to the guys in the center. You can maybe do some kind of interesting stuff with it. Just don't know if there's enough there, because I think everyone's going to have bumpers though.
I think it's a good idea. I like where they're going with it. I think that based on just practically the feedback that all of the LRIs have been giving for years with bumpers, don't make them any more complicated than they have to be, especially taking on and putting off.
That's true.
It did look like the bumpers were uniform all the way around, a 360 bumper. It didn't look like there was any openings in the bumpers. So maybe it's going to go back to kind of like a 2011 style where you have to fully encompass your robot with bumpers. No openings.
Yeah. I think actually of all the bumper rules, I like 2011's probably the most. They made the most sense on the whole, you know. But, you know, I'm from New Hampshire, live for your die, so, you know, if you don't want bumpers, you don't need bumpers. That's my opinion, but
our students always providing the comic relief just passed us a note that said quarter quell.
25th year.
So it's the 25th year. Maybe we just have to go out and all have bumpers and fight to the death.
Oh boy. Ugh.
Choose your champion.
Yeah.
The one that's alive.
The one that survives is the winner.
Do you want a ballista? Do you want a trebuchet?
I'll take the flaming hot oil.
There we go. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for our show today. We've been on for about an hour. Guys, 148, 2337. Thank you guys so much for joining us and for taking your evening to come and celebrate this cool experience with the rest of the First community.
Thanks for having us. It was a blast.
Cool.
Thank you so much for having us. We really enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right. And also, thank you to the rest of my Game Sense crew for joining us, for being here and doing all the hard work to get this show prepped. Big thanks to Stephanie, who's been working behind the scenes.
And a shout out to all of our moderators. Don't forget them.
Yes. The mod squad, they've been keeping the Twitch chat with the minimum amount of kappas and other various things. So good job on their part. And a huge thanks, of course, to First and FRC and Frank and all of his team, and of course Disney Imagineering for doing the real hard work. They had to get the whole game designed, or I assume enough game to get a name, get that all designed before now, get the game video, you know, planned out, ready, animated, and out and here in time for us to show on the show. And again, thank you to everybody at First and Frank and his team for giving us this opportunity to share this great news with everybody here in the First community. So, all right, we're going to go around the horn real quick if anybody has any last words. Ty, you got any last words?
I'm going to stay up all night just watching it over and over and over and over again.
Engine nerds, what about you guys?
Look forward to reading some of the Chief Delphi posts to really go into this between now and January.
Cool. 148, what do you guys have to say?
Yeah, I think we're just excited to get back together and talk about this some more and have a long, long time to think about it.
Hashtag Stronghold 2016.
There you go. Evan, give us your take.
I just can't believe that we've got so much time to take this to the ends of the earth and dissect it in however many ways, and it's going to be crazy and it's going to be fun, and I'm excited.
Cool. Naveed, what do you got?
Gotta say, after last year, the theme idea with Recycle Rush, I was just tired of that garbage, but Stronghold's got me excited for a new theme.
Cool. And before we go, I just want to let everybody out there know that GameSets not only does this premiering of Disney animated specials here, we also do a weekly web show every week during the competition season, Wednesdays at 9. Tune in for more information. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. I hear the kids use that these days. So follow us on there for more information about us. And also, next week, we've got our special episode number 2 of Behind the Lines, which is a show where we talk about the technical and non-technical aspects that make teams better in First. This is a collaboration between us and First. It sort of replaces the old Ask an Expert, exactly. And so next week's show is going to be about everything that a high school student wants to know, scholarships and alumni programs, okay? We all know that there's so much money out there for First students. Figure out how to get it. Watch Behind the Lines. It'll be an hour from Wednesday from 9 to 10. So be sure to tune in right at the same location here on YouTube or on Twitch. With that said, thank you to everybody for watching out there at home. And we hope you have a great season. And make sure to send us your tweets with what you think about the game as we go forward. So with that, bye-bye, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye, guys. Thanks for coming.